Welcome to the 2020 Japanese American Veterans Association's Veterans Day Ceremony, co-sponsored by the National Japanese American Memorial Foundation. Hello, my name is Howard Nye. I'm the Vice President of the Japanese American Veterans Association. Thanks for joining us in the ceremony to honor the veterans and active service members who safeguard our country and our freedom. This event has been selected by the Veterans Day National Committee, which is part of the Department of Veterans Affairs, as one of the most fitting tribute to honoring our veterans. And there are many sites across the country, and we are one of them officially designated. At this time, let us begin the ceremony with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we were going to do the national anthem. However, the audio is not set up for this today, so we'll have to bypass that. At this time, I would like to introduce to you Mr. Gerald Yamada, the president of the Japanese American Veterans Association. Gerald?
Thank you, Howard. It's a rainy day here at the Memorial. We're in Washington, D.C. All the years that have been associated with Veterans Day events here, this is the first time that it's rained. And it's the type of rain that it reminds me of my days of basic training in Fort Lewis, Washington. It rained every day, and I crawled through every piece of mud there. But because of the Army training, I learned to maneuver between the raindrops to stay dry. The only problem is that as I've gotten older, I move slower, and because I put on weight, it's harder to squeeze in between the drops. But that's the way we dealt with the rain. Anyway, on behalf of the Japanese American Veterans Association, welcome to our annual Veterans Day program. Today marks the nation's 67th Veterans Day observance, in which we honor the men and women who have served and are serving in the U.S. uniformed services. As Howard mentioned, I'm proud to announce that our Veterans Day program this year has been selected by the Department of Veterans Affairs as a Veterans Day observance that represents a fitting tribute to Americans' heroes. Today and every day, we must remember the huge debt of gratitude that we owe to the Nisei soldiers who served during World War II. They served mainly in the 442nd Regimental Combat Team and in the Military Intelligence Service in the Pacific. They served with valor. They amassed a heroic combat record that is yet to be surpassed. They left us a legacy from which we have benefited and will continue to benefit. They are an inspiration for all Americans. Their service kept America safe and free. Their service proved their loyalty in spite of the prejudice, war hysteria, and distrust that confronted them. They truly are America's heroes. Let us also honor the 800 Nisei soldiers whose names are inscribed on the granite panels of this memorial behind you. They died defending Americans' freedoms, not knowing whether their sacrifice would make a difference. History would say to those 800 Nisei soldiers, you can rest in peace. Your sacrifice did make a difference. So on this Veterans Day, we thank all veterans and all who are serving for the service for defending our freedoms and keeping us safe. Thank you.
Next, I would like to introduce to you Rihanna Taniguchi. She's a board member of the National Japanese American Memorial Foundation. Rihanna?
Good afternoon. On behalf of the National Japanese American Memorial Foundation, thank you for joining us today. First, I would like to thank the Japanese American Veterans Association for hosting today's ceremony, Rear Admiral Sugimoto for delivering today's keynote address, and most importantly, our veterans watching at home. We owe you a debt of gratitude. This Veterans Day, we are here not only to reflect on the incredible sacrifices that our servicemen and women have made to preserve our freedom, but also to prepare to serve the next generation of veterans. The next generation of veterans will include more diversity than ever before. It will include more women, more people of color, and a wide variety of religious backgrounds. From policy to culture, military and community leaders are working to address the unique challenges this group faces. The story of Japanese American military service during World War II reminds us that no matter what race you may be, what language you may speak at home, what religion you may practice, all Americans have a place in our country and in our ranks. Those who know their story are well equipped to serve tomorrow's veterans because they know that our nation and our military are strengthened by diversity. It is our responsibility and our honor to share that history. Today, as we reflect on ways to serve our veterans, I encourage you to reach out to a veteran. A simple call can provide needed emotional support and connection. Second, consider volunteering, whether it's supporting a veteran's career transition as a mentor or preparing and delivering meals to veterans facing food insecurity. Your time and talents will greatly be appreciated. Third, donate. Many organizations dedicated to serving veterans are struggling as we face this pandemic. Fourth, learn about the unique issues that veterans face. If you're a manager, an employer, or a coworker, take time to educate yourself about the realities of PTSD and other war-related injuries. Learn how you can be an ally and design a healthy workplace for veterans. I hope today is a day of action across America because I believe that each one of us can make a difference in the life of a veteran. Thank you.
Our keynote speaker today is Rear Admiral Andrew M. Sugimoto. Is it on now?
Now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our keynote speaker today is Rear Admiral Andrew M. Sugimoto, who is currently serving as the Assistant Commandant for Intelligence in the United States Coast Guard. As the Coast Guard's Chief of Intelligence, he leads the efforts of more than 1,100 intelligence professionals who conduct the service's intelligence programs, including election activities, analysis and production, geospatial intelligence, counterintelligence, cryptology, critical IT, and security functions. Rear Admiral Sugimoto graduated from the U.S. Coast Guard Academy in 1990 with a Bachelor of Science degree in government. He graduated from the University of San Diego's School of Law in 2002 and was conferred a Juris Doctor. Admiral Sugimoto, the podium is yours.
Thank you for having me here today. And I'm truly humbled and privileged to be invited to speak here today. And in particular, because I've never been here, and I'm touching base with some of the roots that I have here. My dad was in Rower, Arkansas, as one of the detainees during the war, and then went on to fight in the Army, as is a large portion of my other family. And so this is the first time that I would have been here, and grateful for the tour that I got earlier. And I just encourage everybody, if you are in DC, to come by and see this spectacular place that pays tribute to the sacrifices made by those that went before us, and to show our little bit of our heritage. We stand on the shoulders of giants, those that have walked before us and blazed the path. For me, it's particularly fitting that the celebration takes place here at the National Japanese American Memorial. The dedication, sacrifice, and courage exhibited by those who served in our nation's armed forces is more personal here and very relevant. My father and uncle served in the Army, and another 2 uncles served in the military intelligence during World War II. Other family members made parachutes and other critical war supplies back at the camps. To them, service was part of their culture. There's even a word, giri, which describes a sense of duty one exercises, a moral devotion, and loyalty. So for me, it all started as well when I took the oath, which all service members take. And that states that I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I'm about to enter. I said those words because I wanted to highlight the power of those words, because 17.4 million Americans have paused their personal pursuits, have said goodbye to loved ones, raised their right hand, and spoken those words. They have done so to ensure that every one of us still has the ability to speak our minds, follow religions of our choice, to vote, to love those who we want to, and be able to be secure in our inalienable rights. Things that I take for granted. In this country, those things were secured by our veterans who chose to serve. Another word comes to mind, kansha, or gratitude. If our forefathers and mothers had not raised their hand and sworn the oath, would we have had an election a couple of days ago? Would we be the nation we are now? Would we have the 50 states? Most importantly, would we be enjoying our life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness? I'm not sure, but I know that we are here because of them, and filled with gratitude and humbled by their sacrifices. So to all of the veterans across the nation, all 17.4 million, thank you. So today, November 11th, 2020, I can't think of a place I would rather be than here at the National Japanese American Museum, with the beautiful golden cranes, remembering and paying tribute to the 17.4 million veterans that are all over the nation. And on the shoulders of those giants, same as with my family, to be able to say thank you, and in particular for those that have served. This Veterans Day, it is personal, and I want to make sure that we honor every man and woman who served in our uniform, served our nation, because their service was selflessly securing our freedom, our liberties, and our democracy. In a world where we see those things disappear, they stood tall, stood the watch, and ensured that those very words which are written into our Constitution are enabled. I'd also like to especially acknowledge the spouses and dependents, the husbands, the wives, and the kids, all of our loved ones. Every day they wake up, perhaps with the knowledge that their loved one may be pulled away from them and deployed somewhere around the globe. They never know where they will be living, or whether or not, God forbid, there will be a knock on the door that may herald incredible sadness. Yet each and every day they provide the love and foundational support for the service members to go out and honor that oath of office. I am grateful for their sacrifice and for supporting the services of their moms, dads, sons and daughters, husbands, wives, and spouses. Our active duty women and men could not serve and execute the nation's missions without their help. Those of us in uniform volunteered to serve, but our families did not have that choice. So thank you also for your service. I look up and I see those two Japanese cranes embattled in cotton barbed wire, which embodies my family's experiences, their need for communal support and interdependence on one another while struggling for freedom. But that also defines the service of our veterans as they every single day do what they can to secure our freedoms. I look forward though, and I look at my two sons and I see the hope of our future. That hope was brought by the very service of our nation's veterans, and I'm eternally grateful. Thank you again. God bless the United States of America, which through your service you have ensured remains the land of the free and the home of the brave. Thank you.
At this time, Rear Admiral Sugimoto, assisted by U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel retired Mark Nakagawa, a previous Vice President of Java, will lay the wreath in commemoration to those who have served and to honor those fallen service members. We invite you to join us in a moment of silence to honor the memory of all of our fellow Americans who served in service and who have left us in the past year. Thank you. Before we conclude, our President, Mr. Gerald Yamada, would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Howard. If I could ask Marilyn to come forward. Thank you for your presentation. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate your taking the time to be with us today. On behalf of Java, I'd like to present you with a Java coin. It's inscribed with your name and today's date.
Thank you. Very, very much.
And we also would like to present to you a reprint of the Gopher Broke painting that hangs, I believe, in the Pentagon. It's a replica. It's a depiction of the 442nd saving the lost battalion. If it weren't for COVID, I'd shake their hands, but thank you very much. I do have one announcement to make. The announcement is on this Sunday, November 15th, at the Arlington National Cemetery. JCL, the National Japanese American Memorial Foundation, and JAVA will co-sponsor the annual Memorial Day service that's normally held on Memorial Day weekend, but it was postponed this year. But it's been rescheduled, and it's important that we have this event because the program started in 1948, and it's the longest continuous annual program at Arlington National Cemetery. So the Kobayashi family, who was involved at the very beginning, felt it was very important to keep up the tradition, especially in memory of their father, T. Kobayashi. So So, for those of you watching this via Facebook, just hit the same link and turn it on Sunday, November 15th at 2 p.m. and to view the program. Let me turn it back to Howard.
I would like to thank everyone attending today's ceremony. We are honored by your presence. We hope you all stay safe and healthy. Thank you very much. This concludes the ceremony.